Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. Before I go through the games that Steph Curry, Pau Gasol, and Kobe Bryant had in part one of their breakdown for the Lakers and the Warriors from last night, I'm going to go on a rant about Mike D'Antoni because even though he had a tough situation to come into taking over the season 5 games in or whatever it was, he never maintained control and he let Kobe Bryant dictate his playing time. And that's a huge mistake because you're not going to get the kind of respect you need when the star player gets that kind of treatment. The other players are going to look at that and be pissed off that they don't get a chance to dictate their playing time. And quite honestly, he did a detrimental thing to Kobe Bryant, wearing him out where they lost a game or two because Kobe was too tired, didn't get enough rest. And I think that if he had played 40 minutes a game and gave him proper breaks, they would have won the other games anyway. And you cannot convince me that all this extra time that he was playing and all this wear and tear did not have an effect on his Achilles tendon. There's no way you're going to convince me. I've spoken to a trainer and everyone seems to think that there is a connection between that, even though Twitter is lit up today about how you could be walking down the street and rupture your Achilles. The bottom line is, with that kind of wear and tear with a 34-year-old body who's played the equivalent of over 19 seasons, it's ridiculous to have pushed him that way. And also, as a team and as a coach, it's ridiculous to let your star player control the game that way. And I think that Mike D'Antoni has done a real big disservice to the Laker fans and Lakers Nation, and that it shouldn't fly. So let's get back to the game. Steph Curry was amazing, Pau Gasol was amazing, and Kobe Bryant has been the most amazing. I think I haven't been kind to him over the years, but I gotta tell you, there isn't anybody tougher than him out there playing. He plays through stuff and he pushed himself, and while that should be commended, someone should have put some reins on him a little bit and control those playing time, those minutes, because now, even if they make the playoffs, they're completely doomed without their star and their leader, Kobe Bryant. Let's start with Steph Curry's incredible shooting night. He continues to get better and better each year, and when he gets on a roll like this, he is as unstoppable as any scorer in the league. Curry gets started by some nifty ball handling, then abusing Steve Blake to get into the lane. Dwight is a step late coming over, but that's a ridiculously tough floater. Here, Blake tries to play ice on his pick and roll, forcing Curry away from the screen towards the baseline. Kobe is supposed to be sagging towards the lane, but he's doing the opposite, hedging. He calls for Dwight to help, but too late for a guy like Curry. This time, Pau is in better position for ice, but Blake cannot let the guard go back middle. You can see what happens when he does, an easy 3 with no contest. Again, Blake is too low on Curry, allowing him middle penetration, and again, Curry gets an easy mid-range shot. This time, Blake is even lower and forces Clark to switch onto Curry, a big no-no in ice. It wouldn't be a problem if Clark could contain Curry to the sideline, but he allows middle and again nails the mid-range. On this play, Blake cannot help this far over on Ezeli. Ezeli is not much of a threat and Dwight is in good position to pressure that shot if he takes it. Blake cannot be 13 feet away from Curry on this catch. Splash. Just so it's clear what happens when you let the ball handler get middle on ice, splash. Curry didn't have the hometown scorekeeper on his side, yet this pass was counted as an assist. Clay catches the ball 30 feet from the hoop and dribbles 3 times before laying it up. This was even worse. Curry feeds Clay in the post, Clay pauses for a beat, then takes 2 dribbles before stepping back. Oh, and Blake fouled the shit out of him. No call. It's not to say Curry didn't have some great assists. Look at this pick and pop behind the back pass with the left hand to Landry. Beauty. As Pau has gotten healthy and regained his confidence, he has reminded us that he is the most versatile true big man in the league. He has the best post moves of anyone and is the best passing big man around. Of course, this all serves to balance his poor defense, but you can't win them all. Having David Lee guarding you generally means you're going to go off, and Pau did not disappoint. First off, Lee is listed at 6'9", Pau at 7 feet. It looks like there's at least a 5-inch difference here, and there's nothing much Lee could do to stop this beauty of a jump hook. If you have that much of a size deficit, you really need to front the post. If you stand behind Pau, he'll kill you with his turnaround. Again, he plays behind, and Pau hasn't looked this good all season long with a left-handed drive and jump hook. Not much you can do. The Lakers run virtually everything out of horns through Pau, with good reason since he's such a great passer. On this play, David Lee helps even though Ezeli is in position. He loses track of Pau, and this is an easy jumper for him. I found it strange that Mark Jackson never sent a double team on Pau to help David Lee. I'm sure they're afraid of Pau's passing, but if Pau scores every time, what's the difference? On a key play at the end of the game, Pau travels on the catch. He establishes his left foot as the pivot, then picks it up before he dribbles the ball. The refs let him get away with this, and David Lee should call a post-up abuse hotline. Pau's assists were all legit, and watch this great option out of Horns. Normally Kobe would screen Earl Clark in the corner, but instead he circles behind Dwight and sets a totally illegal screen. Since David Lee is not pressuring Pau one iota, it's a relatively easy lob. Here is the high-low action the Lakers get so often between Pau and Dwight. A simple pick and roll on top. Because Clay lets Kobe get middle, it forces David Lee to pick up Kobe. This in turn forces Landry to rotate when Pau rolls to the hoop. Pau need only toss it near the rim every time. While Kobe wasn't his most efficient, he provided plenty of scoring punch for the Lakers on a variety of incredible moves. The idea that he can still play like this after 17 years is truly remarkable. I hate to see him go down like he did, but if anyone can come back even better than he was, it's Kobe. The Lakers won't be able to replace his output, but they still have something to offer a potential first-round playoff opponent. While Klay Thompson is on his way to becoming a good defender, Kobe scored the majority of his baskets on isolations against him. When Kobe plays point guard in Horns, the Lakers almost always pick and roll. His teammates clear out and let him go to work in the post, where he has a turnaround and scores. This time out of Horns, Kobe attacks out of the corner, where he gets a simple pin down. Klay needs to chase Kobe around and cannot go underneath the screen. As a result, splash. Here's a quick hitter screen set by Steve Blake. When Curry tries to hedge, Kobe dazzles with a gorgeous behind-the-back dribble, but isn't done. Nifty spin move over his right shoulder, and David Lee does not challenge. Another creative option out of Horns, this time Kobe's in the high post, sets the ball screen, then gets a flare screen from Pau. Easy pass from Blake gets him a great look from 3. The Lakers run the exact same play, and this time the Warriors defend it much better as Barnes sticks to Kobe like glue. Kobe stares him down as the clock winds down, then hits a 30-footer in his face, as only Kobe can do. This shot was huge, and Kobe was in full Mamba mode, yet sadly, it was the last jump shot Lakers fans will see him make in a long while. So there you have it, sports fans. This is part 1. In part 2, I'm going to go through the endgame situations, and I thought Mark Jackson made a lot of mistakes here managing the game down the stretch because, for all intents and purposes, the Warriors had this game. Now, not only are we going to show you the decisions and the play down the stretch that were key, but we're also going to show you some absolutely horrendous foul calls that benefited the Lakers. So all you people who think that there is a conspiracy, I kind of wanted to poo-poo that and say there isn't much to it, but I've slowly started to come around a little bit to it, and I don't know exactly what it means or how it's been formulated, but there certainly seems to be a pattern, and last night's game was above and beyond what we've seen in the past, from free throw attempts to strange calls to no calls, and it should be something concerning. So stay tuned for part 2 coming up ASAP, and thanks for joining us because at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in?